Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're looking at something truly fascinating. We're taking a dense, beautifully crafted, and highly poetic source text about the origins of creation and the delicate balance of the universe, and we're going to break it completely down. Now, what is absolutely wild about this is that this entire cosmic architecture, we're talking about the birth and stabilization of reality itself, is packed into a mere 70 words. 70 words! It's incredibly rare to find so much meaning embedded in such a brief piece of writing. But by unpacking these concepts, we can extract the profound architecture hidden within those few lines. Okay, let's dive into this.
In the silence before creation, he dreams. Just take a second to let that sink in. We are starting at the absolute micro level of existence here. I mean, before there is light, before there is matter, before there's even space as we understand it, there is just total undisturbed silence. You know, the source text doesn't start with a big bang or some sudden burst of chaotic energy. It starts with a dream. It positions the very foundation of reality as a thought, just a quiet, peaceful meditation in the dark.
Section 1. The silence before creation, the absolute micro level.
So the source text is very deliberate in positioning complete stillness as the foundational prerequisite for the entire universe. To really understand this, we're introduced to the endless serpent. Its location is strictly defined here, beneath the resting Lord Vishnu. But look at its function, guarding time itself. Think about how immense time is, right? In this pre-creation state, time isn't just ticking away in the background. It's this precious, volatile force that literally must be actively guarded. It's coiled up and protected while the divine force streams. It sets a scene of immense latent power.
Now, what's really interesting about this imagery is the idea of resting upon eternity. Lord Vishnu rests upon the endless serpent. We have a supreme entity here, and he's not pacing, he's not working frantically to build a universe. He's resting on a creature that guards time. It paints this vivid picture of supreme calm and absolute control. The universe hasn't even begun yet, but everything is exactly where it needs to be. The foundation is completely secure.
Section 2. Awakening the worlds, from micro to macro.
But of course, the silence can't last forever. Let's move through this timeline and see how this builds. We start at point 1, era 1, silence and dreaming, which we just explored. Then, the catalyst happens at point 2, the breath. It's a simple, biological, effortless action, right? But that single breath triggers point 3, worlds awaken. Entire galaxies, planets, and realities literally spring into existence from that one exhalation. And finally, the text brings us to point 4, chaos finds peace. Because even in the explosive awakening of worlds, a stabilizing force immediately takes hold. And this brilliantly illustrates a fascinating contrast established in our source text. On one side, we have his breath, the dynamic action causing all these worlds to awaken. But right next to it, on the other side, we have his stillness, the inaction that allows the inevitable chaos of a brand new universe to find peace. The text is showing us that creation isn't just about making things happen, it's equally about holding the space for things to settle. Action and inaction, both having massive complementary cosmic consequences.
Section 3. The Lotus Goddess, a complementary force.
Well, Vishnu's stillness and breath are really only half of the equation presented in our text. Her presence introduces a completely different kind of energy into this cosmic narrative. The text reads, "Beside him, Goddess Lakshmi blooms like a lotus." And the specific metaphor used here is incredibly intentional. Think about a blooming lotus. It's active, it's vibrant, it is constantly unfolding and reaching outward. This contrasts beautifully with the imagery of Vishnu resting. He is the quiet foundation, right? But she is the radiant, unfolding realization of life right beside him.
The text assigns 3 very specific attributes to Goddess Lakshmi. First up, grace, bringing elegance and beauty to the raw, newly awakened worlds. Second, abundance, ensuring these worlds are full, prosperous, and thriving, so they aren't just, empty rocks floating in space. And third, devotion, a deep, connecting loyalty and love. The text explicitly states these are intertwined. They don't exist in a vacuum. They weave together to inject vibrant, complex life into the whole cosmic framework.
When we put these two forces side by side, the true architecture of the source text really reveals itself. On one hand, Lord Vishnu brings stillness, breath, and peace. On the other hand, Goddess Lakshmi brings blooming, grace, and abundance. And here is the key. The source material doesn't frame these as opposites fighting for control. No way. They are a complementary union. You need the breath to create the world, but you need the abundance to fill it. You need the stillness to calm the chaos, but you absolutely need the blooming grace to make existence beautiful. The cosmos requires both of these forces to function.
Section 4. The rhythm behind existence, the ultimate macro view.
Now, zooming out to the ultimate macro view, let's look at the continuous, eternal nature of the cosmos, as described in the final, really powerful lines of our source material. The text describes a never-ending loop mapped out in 3 steps. Step 1, the rise of the cosmos. Step 2, the fall of the cosmos. Universes are born, and universes end. It's a chaotic, unimaginably massive cycle. But look at step 3, they remain. So the crucial point here is that through all of this cosmic expansion and collapse, through all the noise and destruction and rebirth, these divine anchors, the stillness and the blooming grace, are constant. They are completely immune to the rise and fall.
The rhythm behind existence, the calm within eternity. This right here is the grand takeaway of the text. It's highly poetic for sure, but it really grounds us. Even when describing the creation and destruction of entire universes, the text ends on a note of deep reassurance. It tells us that underneath the terrifying vastness of eternity, there's a rhythm, there's a heartbeat, and this directly taps into our own human desire to find a sense of anchoring. Just as the cosmos has a steady rhythm beneath its chaotic rising and falling, the text suggests that a foundational calm is always present, if you know where to look.
So we've explored the birth of universes, the guardians of time, the balance of stillness and abundance, and the eternal rhythm that outlasts it all. But pulling these massive cosmic themes back down to our everyday reality, it leaves us with an essential question. How do you find your calm within the chaos? Think about the chaotic rise and fall in your own world. Where is your stillness? Where is your grace? Keep that in mind as you step back into your day. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer.